Karl, it's time to unveil the costume you'll be wearing for this video.
Oh, the 2018 Fiend Halloween special costume. Yeah, I can't believe I managed to track it down and get one shot next. But here it is, look. It's a small white mask that doesn't fit me properly. We're such dickheads. Hello, Clarice.
Oh my god. It's the stuff of nightmares.
There we go.
It's going to be the worst video we've done.
There we go. Event Horizon is considered to be one of the best, albeit most messed up, sci-fi horror movies of the 1990s. What few people realise, though, stop laughing you, is that there's a version of the film that we're not allowed to see that's way worse.
It's even worse.
Right, so, warning, this article contains spoilers, sex, gore, and sexy spoilers.
It moves with your face. I'm not making a straight face.
Keep going, keep going. Are you alright there, Brad?
I'm good.
Okay, ask me the question.
So, Karl, if you haven't seen Event Horizon, what's it about?
Well, Event Horizon is about a big-ass ship that goes into space and it somehow comes into contact with a portal to hell, which causes the people who come into contact with it to experience vivid, nightmarish hallucinations which cause them to commit suicide. It's some gnarly, brutal-ass shit, you folks. Can you even hear what I'm saying in this fucking thing?
Yeah. It's just muffled.
Muffled, okay,
I
that's
can't
fine.
look at it without seeing the bottom of it up and down.
Oh, there we go. How about that? But no, I can't see. Does that work?
I don't even know.
I can't see, but I don't mind. Does that work better? How's my hair look anyway, mate? Is it good?
Yeah.
And to think people want to wear a fucking entire body obscuring skin tight bodysuit, as if that'd be any better. Do people want to see, like, it's not even other guy's fucking shit ass mask on. People wanted to see me wearing a fucking. People wanted to stare at my nips the entire time. Just a floating pair of nips on the fucking green screen. Right. I can't see. Brad, you have to guide my hips on this one. Where is the script? Where do I look to find the script?
Bottom right of you.
Okay. Just go. Okay.
Who appears in Event Horizon, Karl?
Well, Event Horizon, Brad, stars Sam Neill and Lawrence Fishburne. You know, Sam Neill, the guy from Jurassic Park. So if you're a fan of Jurassic Park, I don't recommend watching Event Horizon unless you want to see Dr. Alan Grant gouge his own fucking eyes out.
Is that moving further down your face?
Yes, it is. It really, really hurts. I am in immense pain because it's cutting the top of my forehead. I'm gonna look like I headbutted a fucking deck of cards after this.
Is the joke of not wearing a morph suit worth this?
Yes, it is. It will always be worth it, Brad.
Considering that it's like not really a costume, that is probably that is slasher movie
I'm gonna say,
material.
Brad, if you woke up and you saw me wearing this above your bed, would you not be scared? Considering I don't live in this house anymore.
Karl, what are you doing here? Shh.
If you
Is that you, Karl? Yes, Brad.
If you saw a 6'3" guy in this mask creeping around your house, drinking your Pepsi Max, would you not be pissed? Like, oh God.
It's even more scary now that you're laughing at it.
Okay, I'm calm. Okay. I can't laugh because it causes
I can't take my eyes off it.
That's the idea. Is that the camera I'm pointing at?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Do you know what you should wear as well? A hoodie. You got a hoodie? That'll make it way scarier.
Yeah, I've
Don't
got
give me a hoodie. Oh, yes.
Oh God, this isn't going to go
Here,
well.
pass me the hoodie. Right. See, this will be way scarier, and it's going to be really warm as well. We're warm as balls in this. There we go. See, this is like actually close to like, you know, a shit-tier Halloween costume. Oh, okay.
You can't zip it past the wire.
Oh yeah, wait. Let me guess, this is going in.
I don't even know how much of the earlier bit I can use just because I'm laughing in the background too much.
Is that scary? Is that scarier or worse?
I don't even know.
You know what? Let us know in the comments. If you saw this fucking thing wandering around your house at night, would you not be scared? Right. Okay. Let me scroll down on this script right here.
So, Karl, how was the film reviewed?
What, Event Horizon?
Yeah.
Not very fucking well. People didn't like it at all. They said it was too gnarly. People back then were pussies, apparently.
I can't swallow my drink.
You can't.
It was too gnarly.
It was too gnarly, man. People can't handle it.
Gnarly, man.
However, I should point out to the audience at home, despite these poor reviews, the movie has gone on to become a cult classic. Potentially because of my favourite line in any horror movie, Brad, which we've talked about many times before, but not on the channel, which is the line where Lawrence Fishburne, aka fucking Morpheus, listens to a recording on the Event Horizon, hears a load of fucked up shit, immediately turns to his crew and goes, "We're leaving." Which is the greatest, and it's best as well, because it's uttered by the only black character in the movie.
It's actually quite interesting to have someone in a horror film say, "No, we know, we need to leave."
Yeah, fuck this shit. The information we can gain from staying here is not worth my fucking life. I'm going home. And I feel like more movies need to do that. It's a lot like in Ant-Man, where Paul Rudd just goes, "You know what we need to do? Let's call the Avengers to deal with this." And it's just refreshing to see a movie character think the same way as a normal human being.
That's also their way of digging out of the hole the fact they can't be bothered putting anyone else in it.
Yeah, we can't afford Robert Downey Jr.'s fee.
You know who they can afford? They can afford fucking...
They can afford Falcon!
Falcon, the most prestige Avenger.
The guy who wears a high-tech military combat suit that doesn't protect his arms.
So you said the film was poorly reviewed,
Yes, I did.
but there is an extended cut.
No, there isn't, but there was going to be. And according to director Paul Anderson, if that extended cut had been released, the movie would have been better reviewed because a lot of the stuff that he had to cut from the movie explained a bunch of plot holes that critics ended up picking up on and explained more of the story, including what the fuck the Event Horizon in the film is.
Wait, that's not explained in the film itself?
No, it was cut because some of the stuff he had to cut was like expository dialogue. Because that's always a good thing to cut from a movie, isn't it? Shit that explains the plot.
Why would you cut something that important?
It's because Paul Anderson only had a couple of weeks to edit the movie after a test screening utterly bombed with test audiences. And executives from Paramount, who'd apparently not seen anything of the movie up to that point, saw all the gore in it and went, "No, fuck this, cut this movie and get rid of all that shit." So while he was cutting out all of the gore and viscera, he also cut out some of the expository dialogue to make it shorter, which just so happened to include scenes that they explain what the titular Event Horizon is.
I really wish I'd drawn a set of eyes underneath your eyes.
Oh, you could have done that.
Because that's where it keeps resting.
It's not like we've had, weeks to set this up, is it? It's not like I completely forgot that we were doing this joke, didn't buy a mask, and we had to dig this out of your cupboard, and it's for a kid, and it don't fit my big fat meathead.
Do you know the origin of that mask?
What is it?
On my birthday, I said to my family, every single one of you, I want you to buy me something from Poundland, and the stupidest one wins.
Oh.
I think that one has now taken the victory.
You don't fit!
It's the fact I can see the bottom of your eyes.
Yeah.
So how much content was cut in the end?
About 30 minutes worth, which included some of the most, shocking and gory stuff in the movie, as well as key plot points that are not explained in the final version of the film we as an audience got to see.
What do you mean the gory scenes were cut?
Well, in the movie, there are hallucination scenes where people get visions of hell, which drive them insane. And you get to see people being tortured in, horrible agony. And in the original cut we didn't get to see, these scenes were much longer and more graphic. And Paramount executives were like, "You've got to cut this, it's too brutal. We can't have this in the movie." So they were all cut.
This mask is so distracting.
I know.
I kind of assumed you'd taken it off by this point.
I'm anything but a professional.
I really hope that this audio is actually, that we can actually use it.
This is what you get when you ask for dumb shit.
I'll upload it anyway, even if we can't understand
Even if we can't salvage the audio, it's still going up. And I want to see all the people complaining who think, "Oh, it would have been way better if you'd have had fabric covering every inch of his body."
We were tempted to paint that mask green.
We were, but we didn't have fucking time. By which I mean, I couldn't be arsed.
So can I have an example of what appears in some of these hallucinations that were cut?
Well, some of the stuff that appears in these hallucination scenes include people being tortured with barbed wire, which is like ripping their flesh off, and massive orgies between people who've got their limbs missing and shit like that. I should point out, this stuff does appear in the final movie. It's just that you can only see brief snippets of it. In the original cut that we can't see, unfortunately, these scenes were a lot more graphic and they lingered for a few more seconds than was necessary to make us, the audience, feel more uncomfortable, which is kind of the fucking point when you're seeing visions of hell. Who knew test audiences would get it so wrong? It's never been done. Test audiences never get it wrong, do they?
No,
the
they're always
original ending
right.
of I Am Legend, which is way better and is the one that's in the book. And test audiences said it's stupid, cut it. So it ruins, like, the name of the film no longer makes sense.
The alternate ending for I Am Legend is amazing.
The alternate
compared
ending,
to the shit one that's in there.
The alternate ending is the original ending in the book, because the name of the book, people don't know, the alternate ending to I Am Legend is that the vampires are sentient beings, which is why they can make traps and shit like that, and they're just trying to rescue that girl that, Hancock kidnapped. And Will Smith has the realisation that he is the legend of their nightmares. I Am Legend, the name of the fucking film. But no, they don't need to explain that.
What are you trying to look at?
I don't know, I can't see anything. That I'm looking, my world is just ping pong balls right now. This is what Superman sees when he drowns in the pit of skulls. Just white. Is this what eggs see? Do you know when you're an egg? You're inside a big old egg. I can just see white. It's wonderful.
Is this what eggs see? Not the thing inside the egg.
Next question, Brad. It's good job I memorised this script, innit?
Yeah, considering that I've got it in front of me and you don't, I'm doing a worse job than you.
I know.
Because I just cannot take my eyes off that fucking mask.
Come on.
Okay, hang on. Let me have a look. So you said there was an orgy as well?
Oh, yeah. And in case the orgy wasn't, graphic enough, the director brought in actual pornographic actors and actresses to act out those scenes to make them look really realistic. So there's some actual real-life fucking going on in those scenes.
Do these scenes actually exist anywhere?
You can see stills of them, and some brief snippets did make it into the final movie. But all the other shit was cut and then immediately destroyed by Paramount Pictures. Because fuck us, I guess.
So I'm presumably not putting any of the screenshots or the clips in.
I'd rather you didn't, because we already walk a fine line with all the swearing and drinking and our spooky content we've got going on. So if you want to see the gnarliest shit in this movie, feel free to follow a link that'll be below, where you can see some of the screenshots, the most graphic stuff in this movie, if that's your bag. But we'll just put some tamer stuff behind me right now. It's good, can I look at the green screen? I can see green. Is this how the Hulk sees when he blinks?
So does any of that original footage exist anywhere?
As far as I'm aware, the only place it does exist is on early pre-release VHS copies of the film. And obviously, VHS, that's not very good quality, and it's almost impossible to upscale that to the level of quality you'd want for like a Blu-ray release or anything like that. So it's pretty much gone.
But it's got to exist somewhere, like the original film stock, or someone who worked on the film has a copy of something.
Well, it did for a bit, and they found some of the original film in a Transylvanian salt mine of all places, and people were really excited, thinking, holy shit, we get to see this 2.5 hour long cut of Event Horizon that's super gory and explains all the plot details that, are not explained in the original cut. It turns out, though, that, footage was so damaged by being kept in the salt mines that it was no longer usable. And our current working theory at what happened to it is either the salt mines conditions was too poor to store film, or sabotaged by Dracula.
Dracula watched it and thought it was more scarier than him.
Oh man, no, I just like the idea of Dracula being a petty asshole. So you don't get to be in horror movies anymore. So he sneaks around using his vampire powers, just ruin other horror movies.
That's why all the horror movies that keep coming out as shit.
Yeah.
Dracula's working as a screenwriter.
He's just sneaky. It's he's there, we should put some vampires in this movie. Stop suggesting vampires, Tommy Wiseau. Stop it. That's what Tommy Wiseau does. He just goes around, secretly suggesting, why not vampire? Hey, we said it, look at that. Stop commenting with that now.
Tommy Wiseau is working for Dracula, trying to get
Tommy
vampires.
Wiseau is Dracula.
He is Dracula.
Yeah.
And he's trying to get vampires back into...
Yeah, he's trying to get vampires back to be on vogue, but it's not working very well.
I now have the idea of Tommy Wiseau sat in a meeting for Jigsaw, and he's there, they've got this really good script down.
Yeah, he's why not vampire?
And they're like, no, we're going to do this, why not bring back Tobin Bell? And that's why it ended up really shit.
Yeah.
Because they tried to make
bring
it
back Tobin Bell, but Tobin Bell's vampire. Everyone is vampire.
Everyone is vampire.
Everyone is vampire. Right. So yeah, to end this video, we will literally never see that cut of Event Horizon, which is a weird thing to say about a movie released in 1997, but I guess that's the world we live in right now. Nailed it, done. I try to walk off and I realise I'm going to whack my fucking knee or something. Right, okay, we're done.
Right, Karl, you can take that off now.
Oh, thank fuck for that. It's so warm. So warm.
I'm in the mask, not the hoodie.
Oh, yeah, shit.
Ah.
Am I red?
Jesus.
Am I red? Never say I don't suffer for my art, folks.
How many angry comments do you reckon are there about either I can't understand what he's saying or where is the green morph suit?
You know what? It's the Halloween episode. The scariest thing of all is bad production values. It's the scariest thing for us, I'll admit. Oh man, it feels... Oh man, my ears hurt. It echoes inside that mask. It's scary in there. But somehow I felt comfortable.
I mean, I felt super uncomfortable for the first 3 or 4 minutes. You broke me. I wonder
Do you want to rephrase that?
I couldn't do anything because I was laughing too much.
There we go. A lot of people say that about me. Right. So should we finally address the big bright green elephant in the room and talk about the green morph suit? I've seen the comments. Brad's seen the comments. I've seen the tweets. I've seen the emails you sent me. I've seen the messages on Facebook. I've seen the shit you sent me on Instagram. Stop asking me to wear a green morph suit. Because at first we were going to do it, weren't we? We thought it'd be a funny joke.
Yeah.
Because we like to mess with the green screen. Obviously, it's something I enjoy doing. But the more and more people asked, it started to piss us both off, didn't it? Because we actually have a green morph suit. A friend of mine has got one, and he wants to appear in a video and just stand in the background waving his arms. And I've told him he can turn up for one when he wants to, when he's got time off to do it. But the more I see that comment, I'm like, oh yeah, wear a green morph suit. And I think, no, fuck you. Don't tell me what to do. Those lyrics to Rage Against the Machine just like go around in my head. I'm like, nah. Fuck you, what do you tell me? In a more serious vein, me and Brad have talked about it at length behind the scenes, and we don't want to put anything stupid like that in a video, except for this one-off one on Halloween, because we don't give a fuck. Because we are very aware that someone watching one of these videos, that might be their first ever video. And if they come in and there's a guy wearing a bright green morph suit and they can't fucking see him, they're gonna go, what the hell is this, and not want to watch another one. So that's why we don't make in-jokes, except for that bit just there we were talking about the Tommy Wiseau vampire thing. Because fuck it, that video's ruined anyway. Because if I recall correctly, Brad, in the early days of the channel, me and you had a big argument about this when you were making references to old videos and I kept telling you to cut that shit out, didn't I?
I was trying to pander to the people in the comments who were already trying to make those in-jokes.
Yeah, and I had to explain to Brad this ratio that holds true for most content creation on the internet called, I think it's like the 90% rule or something like that. You can look up the exact name and put it below me, where it's 1 to 3% of people make all the content, so they write all the articles, make and edit all the videos, that's me and you, and then about 5 to 7% of people interact with that content in some way, like, comment, subscribe, all that bullshit, and the other 90% passively consume it and never interact with it in any meaningful way beyond watching or reading it. And that 90% is your audience. So that's why I think the term vocal minority, I think, comes into play on YouTube, where I'm sorry, guys, if you're in the comments and you're screaming about, the green morph suit, you might get a couple hundred likes or something like that, but you don't represent or speak for the entire audience of the channel. And I'm very aware of that, and I don't want that other 90% to tune in for a video and feel like they don't know what's going on. So I'm not sure if you recall, Brad, but during that argument, I explained to you my vision for the channel and what I was going for with the content we make.
It was along the lines of, you want anybody to be able to watch any video at any time.
Yeah, and never feel like they're missing out on some sort of in-jokes and that, which is why we leave discussions about in-jokes and the channel itself to the end of the video, like we're doing now, so the actual content itself is never disrupted, except for in rare cases like the one we've just done, because it's Halloween and obviously you expect something silly on Halloween.
Yeah, they do crop up occasionally, but we do try and limit them, especially on the editing side.
Yeah, because I liken it to going to a party. And if you go to a party and everyone there is already sat in their little cliques, and they're all talking to each other about stuff you don't understand, you're not going to feel very welcome. And I don't want our videos to feel like that. I don't want someone to come in and see a dumb joke of a guy wearing a green morph suit that he doesn't wear in any other video after the fact and making a load of in-jokes that people don't get, because that doesn't feel very welcoming. I want anyone at any time to be able to click on virtually any video we've ever done and get the feel for the content we make and be able to click on another one and say, oh, it's exactly the same.
Because you'll notice it, whenever Karl wears a green shirt, we do try and reference that either in the start bit or the end bit.
Yeah.
So that if anyone's new, they know that that's something that's there.
We
for
do
a
it
reason.
intentionally.
And if you don't mention it, then in the comments, it's always full of those occasional people who will comment that once, saying,
Do you know your
why is the
shirt messed with the green
transparent?"
screen? I'll mention my tattoo that messed with the green screen. But we can't mention that in every video because that'll get boring.
I just realised your tattoo's covered up.
I know. if only they didn't ruin this video in another way, eh? It's also as well why you'll notice that the beginning of every single video we have ever done starts with me talking to Brad. And that's to establish immediately that the video is going to be a dialogue between two people. Because I think in early videos we didn't do that. And I felt like, if people aren't going to get why are you just turning off to the side and randomly talking to someone who's not there?
Yeah, well, why does this voice appear from nowhere halfway through the video?
Yeah, so we try and make it so and that's to immediately sell people on what the channel is and what our video is going to be about.
Yeah, because people notice there's a quick dialogue at the start, then the ident, and then you've got the intro, and then usually another question from me.
Yes.
And that sets up the way.
That sets up the way the channel works and how the rest of the video is going to go. And it's quite formulaic at this point, but I feel like we do play around quite a bit within that formula because there's a lot of freedom for interpretation there, like in regards to tangent stuff. But even that, we always try and do one big tangent right at the start.
Yeah,
so
one
people
tangent
don't...
within the first 5 minutes, and then one at about the 8-minute mark.
Yeah.
But then that's not intentional.
No, it's
that
just
happens when we do this.
Because we've been doing it for a year at this point, we know. But yeah, there's some insider knowledge for people there that you can go talk about in the comments of future videos that we won't going to reference. But I just wanted to address that because I know we've been getting that comment for over a year. People have been harassing me on every social media that I have to wear one, and that's the reason we're not going to do it.
Seeing as we're talking about in-jokes, is it time for the David Harbour Power Hour?
Oh, fuck's sake. There's so many we could do. I don't think any of them are funny. Because that's the thing. It's always the stuff that you don't think's funny people latch onto.
Yeah, the stuff that gets picked up more.
Yeah, you can never pick what people are going to latch onto, and that's kind of annoying. Because some of the stuff people have, I don't find that funny. Like the whole green screen thing, I just think it's a cool way of messing. We've got a green screen, we might as well mess with it. But I don't think it's as funny as other people seem to think it is.
And people seem to have latched onto the whole Karl with a C thing.
Yeah, because I told people I don't like it. So, fun fact, if you message me on any social media with my name misspelled, thinking it's funny, you'll get blocked immediately. Because I don't think it's funny.
Yeah, you've established it's something you don't like.
Well, the video that comes from, because fuck it, we're talking about this shit now, is a video where I explicitly say, I hate when people do that. And people are trying to do it as if to be friendly with me, despite the fact no friend I have does that to me. It's I get a lot of people messaging me saying, oh, I like small dick, as in a friendly, bantery type way, and it's none of my friends talk to me like that. Why do you think you can?
Did you see the tweet I replied to today? Some guy had said something along the lines of, we know how much, we all appreciate you, Brad. Without you, it's just some tosser with a load of random facts. And I replied with, without Karl, I'm just some tosser with a green screen.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's you get that with any fan base where, I don't want to use the term rabid, but they will leap to your defence at any perceived slight against you. Because we've had that a lot in the comments, and I've told people to fuck off. And everyone will pile on and tell them, call them all manner of unsavoury names. Don't do that. That's not very nice.
Yeah, be nice.
I know I'm, being super hypocritical by doing this, but I'm going to stop now.
You tell everyone to fuck off.
Yeah, I'll tell everyone to fuck off. I'll tell Brad to fuck off.
Yeah. I get fuck offs every now and
Yeah,
then.
because I'm British and smarmy, I get away with it. You're just a dickhead with an anime avatar. You haven't got established brand, don't do it.
I'm trying to think at what point I cut this.
Now.